Welcome to the second edition of Rio by Africa, a EFI special magazine program that brings you debates, discussions as they unfold at the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development underway in Rio de Janeiro. I'm your host, Jackie Mafwila. In today's program, we focus on water resources, which is a critical element for Africa's development.
It became a routine. Napoleon and his staff crossed Indoualas rivers in Cameroon to assess damages caused by bluebell on the environment. You see, everything is locked. Here, it's difficult for fishermen to go through. Even fish went away because bluebell absorbs all the oxygen. For a year now, Napoleon discovered how to make profit from this plant which is destroying the country's rivers. Anytime they go to the river, it's an opportunity for the staff to harvest bluebell. This aquatic plant will then be transported under this shed where 50 young people will cut it and transform it into biofertilizers for farming or into paste for paper production. With bluebell, we can produce a book like this one. The Cameroonian state encourages this initiative. Last year, the government gave more than 300,000 euros for training to add value bluebell. To promote environment protection, the governments choose a mechanical approach. This consists of harvesting bluebell. But there's a problem. If we harvest bluebell, what are we going to do with it? If we put it in another place, it can bring another problems. That's why we think it's better to harvest it and add value to it, make a profit. Because bluebell is dangerous in the river. Once the rivers are free from bluebell, the population will fish again and sail freely on Cameroonian rivers.
Chief negotiator of the African team, are you happy with the negotiations so far in its second week?
Well, we are now down to our last day, and it's been an incredibly difficult negotiation. But I think it's fair to say that we've made very important progress on most of the key issues that we had concern about. For us, the main challenge has been around the core issues of this conference. That is the green economy and the institutional framework for sustainable development. Now, under the green economy, as you know, we had to try to bring an understanding of all the countries so that we could all be speaking from the same page as to what green economy is all about. For us in Africa, green economy is an opportunity to leapfrog the dirty technologies that have created the greenhouse gases, for example, that have caused all the difficulties we are facing with climate change. And to be able to leapfrog and be able to tap into the latest technologies of wind, of air, using sea energy, using thermal, energies that can be used to drive our economies in a progressive way.
Now, with regard to the green economy, have you come to a mutual understanding as Africa what green economy means?
As Africa, yes. I think as Africa we have a pretty good understanding, and we've come here with a common agreement on the language that we would like to see adopted at this conference.
Now, when we come to the contribution from the member state country, is it the willingness, is it really the money issue that is hampering the sustainable development?
Well, I mean, people do pay a lot of attention to the money issue. But as we all know, when there's a will, when there's political will, money is usually found to solve the problems that face the earth. We have a situation right now where we would like to achieve certain goals in the context of our engagement in the green economy. For us to achieve that outcome, we have to be also supported in the financing of our engagement. Because as I said a little earlier, it takes money to buy the technologies that are needed. It takes money to finance the capacity building, the training that's needed. So these are all things that have to be done. Thank you.
Thank you.
All the very best.
The Rio Plus 20 is a summit where the UN member states take stock of the implementation of sustainable development actions 20 years after the Rio Conventions in 1992. Next is a report by Cynthia Mutwa about the progress of sustainable development in Mauritius.
Like all the islands in the Indian Ocean, Mauritius is not immune to climate change, rising waters, rising temperatures and torrential rains. Every Mauritian must adapt to these changes and try to mitigate its effects. And the government also contributes with the Maurice Île Durable initiative launched in 2008. It's a program to make Mauritius a sustainable island. First concern, reduce electricity consumption and oil dependence. The oil bill of the island exceeds $2 billion each year, nearly the third of its gross domestic product, even if part of the electricity consumed in Mauritius is derived from waste sugarcane in thermal power plants. It is therefore important for the government to increase renewable energy production. Mauritius is committed to increase by at least 35% by 2025 electricity production from the sun, wind, water, bagasse and landfill waste. The government encourages inhabitants to produce their own electricity by solar photovoltaic panels. Government also subsidized the purchase of solar water heater for thousands of Mauritian families, funding for energy-saving lamps, changing of lighting system of roads, schools and hospitals. It encourages people to buy non-polluting cars. There is plastic recycling and organic waste, reduce wastage and collecting rainwater for agriculture, eco-friendly construction and reducing emissions of greenhouse gases. About energy and environment, the focus is also on awareness. With the Maurice Île Durable initiative, the Mauritian government has the ambition to make the country the first in Africa to develop energy sources clean and environmentally friendly.
De 1960 à 1964, à la création de la commission de la CBLT, la commission du bassin.
The Chad Lake is drying up. From 1960 to 1964, with the creation of a committee of the Chad Lake, the area was about 25,000 kilometers square. In 2001, the area was 2,000 kilometers square, and today it is less than 2,000 kilometers square. There is just a small pond next to Chad, while there are at least 4 countries that share the lake: Chad, Niger, Nigeria and Cameroon. The consequences are disastrous because there are people who live around this lake. These people are engaged in agriculture, farming and fishing. But today, with drought in the Sahel region and with the threat of extinction of the Chad Lake, all these activities are up to fail, like the future of these people. Today, agriculture doesn't work. Those who used to do farming don't now. It is very difficult for these people.
C'est dire que les conséquences sont très désastreuses pour ces populations. La première solution à envisager,
there are a lot of solutions. First, see how to transfer water from Ombangi Chari to feed the Chad Lake. There is a strategic plan called Vision 2025 that has been set up by the countries concerned by the Chad Lake. These are solutions that we are considering, but we want also to fix dams around the lake to prevent the sand invade the bed of the River Chad.
Thank you for watching and tune in tomorrow as we bring you the latest updates from Rio Plus 20. From myself, Jackie Mofila, and the rest of the production team, it's goodbye.